Hey, what's up guys? Alex here. So what makes the iPhone 11 Pro the best yet? Well, it's because Apple focused on the two most important things on any smartphone, that being the cameras and the battery. So these sort of things are what I hear people complaining about constantly, but when it comes to the cameras, people are usually just saying what's the best option out there on a smartphone. But with the battery, you always hear, but with the battery, you always hear people saying that their battery keeps dying or that they can't make it through a day on one charge. But what Apple did with the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro this year is they said we are not going to have one main new feature in this phone that is going to blow everyone away, but we are going to make the phone, we're going to focus on the basics of right. So that's really great that Apple got the basics right, like the cameras and the battery. So when you talk about the battery in the iPhone 11 Pro, I think that is the main reason a lot of people had issues with the Pixel 4, since that does not have a great battery. That is because a lot of us reviewers were using the iPhone 11 or 11 Pro at the time, and when we switched to that phone, we noticed that there was a big gap in battery performance, where people were going from using the iPhone 11 Pro from sunrise to sundown, and without a charge, where on the Pixel 4 you couldn't get the same type of performance out of that phone. With the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you find yourself with a battery that comes in about just under 4,000 milliamp hours, and so it's not the biggest battery, but what Apple did great was with this phone was optimizing the performance with the hardware and the software. And that's important because you can have a big battery, but if the software is draining and keeps draining that battery over time, what is the point of having that big of a battery in your phone? With iOS 13, I didn't really find having to make any real big adjustments to like by turning Bluetooth off or Wi-Fi off when I leave home, or turning down my brightness throughout the day. I did not have to do any of those things. So that's basically about the battery and my complaints about the battery and so on and so forth. So moving on to the cameras, Apple added the ultra wide to the iPhone 11, so that's something that the XR did not have, so they added the ultra wide to that. And when you move on to the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max, you get a telephoto as well. And I mean, for the last few years, I mean, Apple has always had that 1-2 punch when it comes to the cameras. It's not always going to be the best camera, since when you zoom in on a photo, the quality actually becomes worse. But the iPhones are usually the best when it comes to video out of any smartphone. Together, you have a really great camera system in any smartphone, so like it's pretty much the best. The Google Pixel 4 doesn't really compete. The iPhones have the best camera out of any smartphone for video. Photos, I could say Pixel's a little bit better. So overall, Apple really improved this phone over the 10, the 10S, the 10S Max, and the XR. And these two features alone make it the best iPhone yet. If Apple keeps focusing on the basics like they did this year, as well as giving us some really important new features that really help us with the phone, I really think that the iPhone will continue to get better and better every year. Now, the new feature-wise, that's something we're not going to see on S models. We'll see that more on like a 12, not like the 11S. So, yeah, so these two features alone make it a great phone for me. So that's pretty much my thoughts on what makes the iPhone 11 Pro great, and that was pretty much my full review of the iPhone 11 Pro. So those are my thoughts and what I think makes the phone the greatest iPhone of all time so far. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.